So before we get into this video, please subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already. I share interesting stories as well as links to interesting things once a month, so make sure to check it out. How to sell digital products online. So I have made a similar video to this last year. It's nearly a year old now. I wanted to do an updated version because a few things have changed actually since then. A few other platforms that I recommended, and my income as well from digital products has really grown. So I just wanted to quickly share how much I've made from digital products over the last month. And yeah, this is probably one of my best months when it comes to selling digital products. Apart from when I was selling Tumblr themes were definitely the best, but that was years ago. Anyway, digital products right now, $19,000 in the last 30 days. All of this money is coming from presets, wallpapers, and my video creator course, which I recently released. Check out video creator course if you haven't already. So yeah, I'd say a big chunk of this is actually just from the video creator course because it's more of a high ticket item. And my plan is with the video creator course to share everything that I've learned about making videos, but put it into this course that a lot of people have been asking for, because a lot of you ask, how do I set up the cameras? How do I set up the lighting? How do I get the look that I get in my videos? And I wanted to share that in this course. So if you guys are interested, check it out. If not, anyway, regardless, yeah, that's actually been a big money generator for me over the last month. And I expect it to continue over the next few years because that's the best thing about making digital products. I love making digital products because of quite a few factors which I wanted to share. So number one is, of course, they're quick and easy to make, especially compared to physical products. I have experience in making physical products. Physical products can take months to go from sort of idea to final product. A digital product, I can come up with it in the morning and have it ready by the evening. So yeah, the process of making digital products so much quicker and easier. Number two is that there's a lot less maintenance as well, but it all depends on the type of product you make and how you've made it. So you know, some of my products like presets, wallpapers, and templates and stuff, they have very little maintenance. They don't really need much maintenance. Once they're made, and I can just sell them. Number three is, of course, instant delivery. As soon as a customer purchases it, they get their product instantly. They don't have to wait for shipping. They don't have to wait for the next day or next week for an item to arrive. Digital products come straight away. Number four is unlimited supply. With physical products, you of course have to stock them. You have to buy however many units or whatever. With digital products, it's basically unlimited. You don't have to think about that. Number five, which I think is the most important part, is higher profit margins. The profit margins on digital products is insane. A physical product, the sort of net profit could be around 20, 30%, 30% if it's really good. 15% seems to be the average, 10 to 15% from talking to other manufacturers, talking to other businesses, and just reading stuff online. 15% margin on physical products is seen as pretty good. With digital products, especially my digital products, my margins are like over 90%. You know, the fees that I have are things like transaction fees and maybe hosting fees and things like that. Obviously, there's my time as well. That is different, of course. It depends on how much you value your time. But yeah, if you don't include that, the profit margins for digital products are just through the roof. So let's get into which platform you should use to sell your digital products. There's quite a few out there, but I wanted to recommend and share with you the ones that I think are the best right now. So Sellfy, I think, is actually the best one out of all of them. It by far is the most powerful and it has pretty much every feature you can imagine. My favorites include the ability to do subscriptions. So if you want to sell a subscription to something, maybe you're sort of sharing artwork or wallpapers monthly or something like that, and you want to do that as a subscription, you can do that. Video streaming as well. So maybe you want to do videos away from YouTube, maybe you want to sell premium videos, you can do that on Sellfy. It's quite easy to set up as well. It's very easy to set up actually compared to some of the others out there. You can have a store up and running pretty quickly. And of course, the most important thing is that it works on desktop and mobile. So you don't have to worry about it not converting on someone's phone or someone's laptop. It will work across everything. It has email marketing built in. You can send out updates or new product launches. And email marketing is so heavily underrated. I don't think people realize how important email marketing is. Whenever I launch a new product, maybe it's a bunch of new presets or a new wallpaper pack, I can make thousands just from one email. Upselling, so you can advertise relevant products to potential customers when they're going through the checkout process. So maybe they have bought something like a Lightroom preset pack. Maybe you have multiple Lightroom preset packs, but they've only added one to their cart. Once they go through the cart, you can then advertise to them the other preset packs that you have, maybe at a discount or something like that. It's something I do myself. When someone buys my latest Lightroom preset pack, I also offer my other Lightroom preset packs at a discount. Yeah, it's a great way just to sort of up the average order value. And they have the abandoned cart functionality as well. For those who don't know what abandoned cart is, it's basically when a customer comes to your website, they add the product to the cart, they go through the checkout and everything, but they just haven't maybe entered their credit card details, or maybe they just haven't hit that purchase button, but it still has the information. So maybe they put their email in. It will automatically send an email out to them saying, hey, you've left something in your cart. Would you like to resume your purchase? Stuff like that can just remind potential customers, hey, you know, the product's still available, it's still there, please purchase it. Maybe offer them, give them a discount code or something like that, just to push them over the edge. The next platform is Gumroad. So Gumroad is probably the easiest to set up and get running. Their process of making an account, getting a product up for sale, and then just sharing the link anywhere is fantastic. It can't really be beat by anyone else. I was actually a very heavy Gumroad user. I used to sell all of my digital products through Gumroad, but I've actually moved away from Gumroad because they made one big change, and that was upping their pricing. I think I was paying like 5% or 2%, something like that before, but now they've gone all the way up to 10% of all sales, which for me just doesn't make sense, because if I'm making $20,000 a month from digital products, they're taking $2,000 from my $20,000, which is just, I think, way too much. I think especially for someone of sort of my size, when it comes to that sort of revenue, it's quite a big chunk of money. I could use that $2,000 somewhere else. I could pay someone, I could pay contractors or whatever, pay freelancers, whatever. Yeah, that's just a lot of money. So it's the reason why I've moved away from Gumroad. However, Gumroad is great if you're just starting out, you know, you want to just get something quick up and running. But yeah, I would suggest looking at the other options I'm mentioning in this video. Lemon Squeezy, this is quite a recent one, and one that's become quite popular, has a lot of the features that Sellfy has. It is cheaper than Gumroad as well. They charge 5% of sales, but it also does charge for email marketing, whereas Gumroad doesn't. So I guess you've just got to weigh it up whether email marketing is important to you. I do think email marketing is very important. So, you know, if it's something that maybe you can do externally, like I do email marketing externally. I don't actually use any of these platforms to do email marketing. It's much cheaper. Yeah, Lemon Squeezy, 5% of sales. I still think, you know, some of the other ones that I've mentioned here are better. But Lemon Squeezy, the design of it, the way they've sort of done everything, the features and functionality that it has, it's really, really good. Payhip. So this is the platform that I use, and it's not very well known. I actually came across it completely by accident. I feel like they don't actually do that good of a job sort of marketing their platform. It's not as clean or sort of as nice looking or easy to use as the other platforms that I've mentioned. But there are two main reasons, big reasons, why I use it above all the other platforms. It's super cheap for someone like me. I'm paying $99 a month to use it, and then I pay no transaction fees other than the standard credit card processing fees that you have to pay. You have to pay those regardless. It also handles UK and EU VAT for me, so the taxes. So instead of me having to collect VAT, collect taxes for every single one of my customers, and then pay that VAT and sort of have an accountant or someone sort of handle all that for me, it's a lot of work and it's an additional cost for me. Payhip handles all that for me. Payhip basically acts as I don't know the correct term, but basically they're acting as a middleman for me. So they take the payments from the customers, they handle the VAT, and then they pay me whatever is left over, which just makes my life easier. Like, it really does. The only limiting factor with Payhip is that you can't really do much with the sort of themes and stuff that they have. They have some sort of pre-made themes that you can use. And yeah, I'm using one for my one, store.olia.com. Yeah, just using one of their own themes. I've modified it a little bit here and there with custom CSS and stuff. But to be honest, with this theme, it does the job. It does what I need it to do, which is advertise my products, have a nice, simple product page, and then a very quick and simple sort of checkout process, because I don't want to overcomplicate the website. I think a lot of people, when they're looking to build their own store or even just looking to build their own website, they're overcomplicating it way too much. They're trying to add all sorts of amazing functionality, amazing sort of fancy animations and graphics and all these different things. But if the aim of the website is to do one specific thing, like for mine, sell products, you should be showing the products first and foremost. You should be advertising those. Those should be at the forefront of the website. Those should be the focus of the website. Same with the sort of checkout process. It should be as simple as possible, and that's what Payhip does. So the big question is, once you've made digital products, once you have them for sale, how do you market them? How do you actually get people to buy them? So for me personally, I market them through my audience, right? I use my audience, I share stuff, I share sort of tutorials and stuff, you know, regularly sharing content as well as sprinkling my digital products in between. That's how I make money. Now, what do you do if you don't have an audience? Make one, because I really do think that making your own audience online, social media, whatever, is the cheapest and the easiest way to make money from products like these. It's so much cheaper than having to spend money on paid marketing. And I know a lot of people, they don't have tens of thousands of dollars to spend on paid marketing. I definitely didn't when I first started out. I started building an audience so that I can do stuff like this. So I would highly recommend building an audience, figuring out how you can build an audience around what you're trying to sell. There are various other sort of videos that I've done on my channel going through other sort of people, other creators who have built an audience around their product. You can do it around sort of presets. Maybe, actually, let me give you a good example. Maybe you're someone who's a photographer who loves photography and you edit pictures in Lightroom, right? You're most likely going to have Lightroom presets. You're most likely going to have the sort of look for your photos. You can do videos of you sharing those looks. You can do videos of you making those looks on something like YouTube. And yeah, people could copy what you're doing, no problem. They can copy your style. However, a lot of people, from my experience, actually can't be bothered. They would rather have a one-click solution which they can quickly apply to their photos, apply a preset, and their photo is done and ready. So I have done videos in the past where I have shown exactly how to get the look of maybe a video or a photo or something like that. But then I've also linked to my quick one-click solution, which is a preset or a LUT. So many people still buy the preset and the LUT because they just want it to be as easy as possible. That's what people are willing to pay for. They're willing to pay for something that will save them time, that will make it easier for them. So that's just one way to do it. Maybe another way is something like Notion templates. I always bang on about Notion templates, but Notion templates are such a good way to make money right now. So you could share, or you could do a video on maybe your Notion sort of guide, or maybe your Notion setup or something like that. You could even show that setup in a YouTube video and someone could copy it, no problem. Let them copy it. But you can also sell the sort of copy link for that template in the description of the YouTube video, and people will still buy it. They definitely will. I've seen other people do it. I've done it myself with my own YouTube Notion template. People still buy it. And that's the whole point. Like I said, because it saves them time, because it saves them the effort, they're willing to pay the money. They're willing to spend their hard-earned money just to save that bit of time. Check out one of my other videos. I did a video on side hustle income ideas for 2023. I also did another video, digital product ideas you can use to make money online. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe. Please do subscribe. I need subscribers.